Hi everyone, Sally Ann here. Sorry I can't be with you today. Welcome to my online training room instead. I wanted to just take a few moments to share part of the protective behaviours process that I think could be really helpful for you right now. So this short film is just called Protective Behaviours and Feeling Safe. At the heart of the protective behaviours process are two themes. And the first one is that we all people, have a right to feel safe all the time. And if we all have a right to feel safe all the time, other people therefore have a right to feel safe with us. And the second theme in protective behaviours is about communication. It doesn't have to be spoken word, it could be drawings, it could be paintings, it could be behaviour. And that theme says that we can talk. And the behaviour could be the talking, could be the communication. So it says we can talk with someone, we can talk with someone about absolutely anything, even if it feels awful or small. And it might be some of the small things right now that might be leading to people feeling less safe, but it also might be something big. So just bearing those two themes in mind, one of the reasons I say I wanted to just make this little film for you today is because if ever there was time for protective behaviours, in my opinion, it's now. Because there will be lots of people out there, children, young people, adults, who don't feel as safe as they did, and who certainly perhaps don't feel as safe as they did coming back to school. The start of a new term feels tricky anyway, and a new academic year, and I guess even more so now because there seem to be more questions than answers. And that's the great thing about protective behaviours. It says that we can talk about those things. So I really hope that you've got someone that you can talk with, and more than one someone, about absolutely anything, even if it feels awful, or even if it might be a tiny thing. Because you have a right to feel safe all the time, and so does everyone else in the community. So protective behaviours, I say, is about this feeling of safety. We cannot guarantee safety. We can't be safe all the time, but this is a right to feel safe. So I just wanted to take a few moments of time with you today, looking at what feeling safe might be like for each and every one of us. And I'm just going to invite you to think about that for you. And one of the very first things I want you to think about is what might safe look like? What might somebody see in their safe place? The next thing is, what might somebody hear in that safe place? What might be the sounds that they hear? And then, what might be the smells? What might somebody smell in their safe place? I definitely know there are smells that help me feel safer, and there are some I don't like at all. And that's a really important thing because not everybody likes the same smells. So we need to be mindful of that, certainly for the students, the young people, when they come into our classrooms. What tastes bring that feeling of comfort and safety for you? And what might the textures be? Those things we can touch. And then just a feeling word that goes with that. That sort of feeling of safe. Is there another word that comes to mind for you? So I'm just going to go over those again. And while I'm doing that, I invite you to spend a bit of a moment in your own space. I'll put on a little breathing gift for you to have a look at. So the idea is that with this breathing gift, because if we can regulate our breathing, that's going to help us feel safer as well. It's going to calm the heart, it's going to be less racing. And the idea of focusing on the breathing is to slow it down and to make the out breath longer than the in breath. And again, this might be something that some of the children and young people and families you work with might find helpful. So we breathe out as the shape deflates, and we breathe in as the shape expands. So perhaps while you're watching that and focusing on your breathing, we just go back to those 5 things we can think about that might help us feel safer. What might somebody see in their safe place? What might somebody hear? What might be the sounds, the sights, the sounds? What might somebody smell in their safe place? What might be that smell that they associate with feeling safe? What might they taste in their safe place? And what might be a texture, something they could touch in that safe place? And finally, a feeling word that goes with that. And I know for me, at the start of this particular event in our lives, there were times, especially on a Monday, where I felt really wobbly. So I spent some time doing that activity we've just gone through. And I'll just share with you one that I came up with earlier. What could I see? I could see the sunshine. What could I hear? I could hear the sea. What could I smell? I could smell seaweed. A taste was fish and chips. And a texture was warm sand. And my feeling word was warmth. And I just sort of made that on a little piece of paper, folded it up and carried it with me, just to remind myself that I had a right to feel safe all the time, and those things help me feel safer. Some people call those grounding techniques, these sort of things that can help us feel grounded, feet firmly on the floor. And I know when I was first teaching, and certainly on playground duty, I used to always keep a packet of polos in my pocket so I could have a quick sniff of those if I was starting to feel a little bit out of control. The thing about feeling safe, and if we feel safe, then the people that we live and we work with will also feel safer. This idea of self-regulation before we can co-regulate. I just wanted to share with you a quote from Charlie Mackes's The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. And it just reminded me, again, part of protective behaviour is about the feelings, the thoughts and the behaviour. Behaviour isn't always a choice. If someone is unregulated, if someone is in crisis, if someone is in survival mode, their behaviour will be a reaction. I guess for us as the adults, we need to find a way where we can keep ourselves regulated. And this quote, one of our greatest freedoms is how we react to things. And I think for me, the freedom of knowing what feeling safe feels like and carrying it with me helps me to react in a safer way. And thank you for, if you've managed to watch so far and stay with this, thank you for spending some time. I just want to share with you, I don't know what your role is in school or in your setting, but basically we're all teachers. The children will look to us, their families will look to us as role models. And I just like this quote as well, good old Charlie Brown. I wonder what teachers make. So I changed that. I wonder what difference adults make, really. And the key is we all make a difference. We can all make a difference. And that's because every interaction that we have with a student, with a young child, with each other is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to connect. And if we've got connections and safe relationships with people, then the idea of how we can correct, we need the connection before the correction. So please, I hope you're feeling empowered. I'm hoping you realise what a difference you do make. Yet another quote for you from Pookie Knightsmith. She shared this at a conference recently, and it just showed the difference that a smile can make. The difference was the teacher who smiled at me every time he passed me in the corridor. That was it. All he did was smile. But I was drowning, and his smile was like a life ring. Please don't underestimate the difference you make. Please don't forget that you too have a right to feel safe all the time, and that we can talk with someone about anything, even if it feels awful or small. And although I can't be with you there today, I feel more than happy to be on your Protective Behaviours Network. I'm looking forward to the day that we do meet. Please look after yourself. You have a right to feel safe all the time. And if you want to get in touch, my contact details are there. And I look forward to being in the same room with you, hopefully in the not too distant future. But in the meantime, I'm here in my virtual space, and I'll carry on training from here because it helps me feel safer, and I know that it makes a difference to people. Hope you have a good term, and yeah, look forward to meeting you again soon. Bye.